You have AVP outstanding, Pathfinder.
In parking orbit. Scan complete. orbiting Gadara.
nearing current disk point. The exile camp mentioned in Yafir's logs.
We...
Pathfinder. Venturev claimed he buried the Ket transponder near this location.
Found it.
That's a mess.
The transponder's power source is drained.
So let's juice it up. Turn it on, then Gil can work his magic.
Once complete, this should provide us with the Archon's location, and in turn, Meridian's.
We're one step closer to building a home in Helios.
Loving the positivity.
Gil's ready to talk to you about the Ket transmitter?
You have AVP outstanding, Pathfinder.
Hi there.
Any more Commando war story?
That's all I can share, anyway. Stay.
Pathfinder.
Now that we've been digging, it's clear you were right about Spender.
Guy like that'll do anything to get ahead. Just wonder how far he went.
We can talk more later.
Sure.
Gil, here's that Ket transponder. The spy used it to get his orders.
What do we need from it?
The location it points to should give us a fix on the Archon's ship.
Right.
It's not like there's much riding on this, just our best chance to find Meridian.
Pressure. I like that. Luckily, no matter where you go in the universe, physics still applies. Only so many ways of communicating across space. There. Give it a shot.
Did you connect the...
Shit, turn it off. Careful. That is a direct line to people who want to murder everyone on this ship.
Sam?
I have the coordinates. The signal points to the Tafino system.
We sure we want to do this?
I know we're still getting our feet wet, but I don't see another choice.
I knew running off to Andromeda would be dangerous, but shit. This is dangerous.
Only if we die.
Kadara is a lifesaver. I'd promised some people some things I wasn't sure I could get. Turns out I can get them all on Kadara. Funny how things work out.
I'm just relieved that they didn't die out there without Nexus support.
Throwing people off the boat was hard, but Nexus leadership was desperate. Wasn't a great choice. Lose some people, or lose everything.
How did you hear of the Andromeda initiative?
Short answer, Cash. She was looking for some experimental ship mods, and I knew how to track them down. I thought it was a one-time deal, but she came back. Once, twice. Eventually I figured out something was going on, something big with creds behind it. I asked and she told me about the initiative. New galaxy, new home. Couldn't pass that up.
You were on the Nexus when the revolt happened?
When you promise people golden worlds and all they get are wastelands and a death cloud, they riot. Some wanted to go home, some demanded answers, and a couple just wanted to stir shit up.
And you?
Some days I wondered if the exiles had a point. Maybe we were conned into coming here. But why would the initiative go to all this trouble just to screw us over? Thing about conning people, you always know something they don't, and that's why the con works. And if I'm going to pick a side, I'm picking the liars.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
Puck. You're gonna be the gateway to so many great things, my friend.
Hey there. You named her Pac?
Yep. Proof of concept. To distinguish her from Zap, your souped-up, nasty combat version.
Zap. I like it.
Yeah, it's edgy. The storage box from the vault on Eos was the key to everything, including integrating that piece of REM tech you got me. But our new observer friends are just the beginning. I'm working on something even bigger.
I'm all ears.
So get this. We can only scan for remnant signatures we've already encountered. My scanner's doing that around the clock. But if I integrate the right REM tech, we could scour the cluster for any remnant signature, even ones we don't have. My scanner would literally become a remnant mystery detector.
What would we be looking for?
That's the point. We don't know what all is out there, so we don't know even what to look for. I came to Andromeda to touch the unknown, to find the never-before-found. Once I perfect this scanner, it'll do exactly that. All I need is 3 specific pieces of REMTech.
We can do that.
You rock. Pock and Zap think so too. So far, I've located the first piece. It's back on Eos. I'll upload the coordinates.
Now orbiting Gadara.
Honor to meet you, Pathfinder. Initiative Pilot Marixus. I run supplies to your outposts.
What brings you to Aya?
Your survival supplies only Aya has. I'm waiting on clearance to enter the city, but it's taking too long. I understand their caution, but the outposts need these supplies. I have to get them, now.
They let me into the city? I can help.
I appreciate that. To start, EOS needs a way to produce food to support population growth. They've requested quinoa seeds to begin their own crops. There's an agricultural scientist who might sell some.
I'll make sure to get those seeds.
Settlers on Kadara are suffering from a bacterial infection. They need Angaran antibiotics to fight it. A medic in the city should be able to help.
Got it. They'll have that medicine in no time.
Any news? The numbers.
Ambassador, I trust our people had a smooth transition to Aya.
The Angara have been gracious. Everything's going well.
Good. Keep me updated. Can out.
I've never lied to a director before. Pathfinder, it's a pleasure. I'm Ambassador Riala, Chief Diplomat for the Initiative on Aya. I was removed from Cryo specifically for this. Quite the wake-up call.
I assume you're trained for first contact diplomacy.
I'm a social anthropologist with a linguistics background. Close enough for Director Tan. I hear you're to thank for our new ties with Aya. This is our best shot at an alliance. Now we just need to keep our people from wrecking it, no matter how hard they try.
If something's wrong, I need to know.
Maybe you can help me fix it. A Solarian botanist named Sorvis Len is here, learning how to improve our crops. He sent an urgent comm, saying a member of the Angaran resistance had threatened him.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Sorvis is an excellent scientist, but not the best communicator. I'm concerned this could escalate if someone doesn't look into it, but I don't have the staff to spare.
I can go settle things. I'm a friendly face for both sides.
That would be helpful. With any luck, we can prevent this from getting worse.
What's our end goal for Aya?
A strong alliance is all we can ask for. It's what we're working toward. Helios is the Angara's home. They dictate the terms of this partnership, not us. We need them as allies, and they could benefit from us. But we have to tread lightly.
Show them we're not invaders.
Historically, when two civilizations meet, one consumes or destroys the other. We need to break that cycle.
Aside from Sorvis Len, is everything okay? Need anything else?
Actually, yes. Director Tan gave me a project. He wants more Aya natives to live on the Nexus. He thinks it will deepen our partnership. A few Angara expressed interest, but none of them will agree to live on the Nexus without speaking to you first.
Why me?
After what you've accomplished? I didn't want to bother you, but you asked. I'll point you towards the candidates. If you could convince them to transfer, I'd be grateful.
How many of our people have they let into the city?
A strictly limited number, and only certain professions. Scientists, engineers, and scholars. The Angara have agreed to allow some of our people to work in Aya's research facilities.
That's huge.
It's more than I expected. Tan wants me to push for social visits, but I'm holding my ground. We need to move at their pace. They've been extraordinarily gracious, all things considered. I'll take whatever they're willing to give.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
When I first escorted you through our city, I wasn't sure it was the right thing, but you proved I was wrong to doubt. No, more than that. You didn't have to save the captives from exaltation. I wonder if you realize what that meant to us.
We're in this together. The Initiative wants to help.
I want to believe it. You're so different from the Ket. What can I do for you?
I'm hoping you can get me on Ephra's good side.
If I knew how to do that, my job would be much simpler.
Sometimes it seems like you two don't get along at all. And other times...
He's a brilliant tactician and inspiring leader. We just disagree on what's best for our people. He believes secrecy and isolation keep us safe.
What do you believe?
We can't defeat the Ket alone. And neither can your initiative.
I have a few questions about your culture.
I'm happy to answer them.
Don't take this the wrong way, but this isn't your only city, right?
Not at all. Vold and Havarl both have several large population centers. Aya has numerous residential areas similar to this.
Are these places open for visitors?
In time, perhaps.
I've noticed that you, Ephra, and Jal all speak with different accents.
When the Scourge first struck, there were many Angaran worlds. They were separated for centuries. We developed divergent cultures and dialects. Ephra was born on Vold, and Jal is from Havarl.
What about you?
The Ket left my homeworld in ruins. Those who survived were forced to flee. We found a refuge on Aya. My family helped settle this world.
Aya seems important to the Angara.
Aya is paradise. This world is a gift. We created the Vassals so everyone could enjoy this place, if only for a short time.
The Vassal?
The time of change. Aya's resources are too limited for our entire population to live here. We each earn the privilege of spending a few years on Aya. When our time is up, we leave to make room for someone new. The cycle repeats throughout our lives.
Will you have to leave?
Someday. For now, Aya needs me.
Your people revere the Moshai. What did she do to earn that?
After the Scourge, our civilization was in ruins. Those who led the rebuilding were thinkers, experts, and inventors. The Moshai is the greatest scientific mind of our generation. She led us to a new age of technological innovation. When the Ket attacked, she studied their technology, learned their tactics.
You owe your survival to her.
We owe her everything, and we'll do anything to protect her.
So, what do you do for fun around here?
The Tavatan is a popular spot for recreational activity.
Right, but what do you do? Can't work all the time.
Productivity is the best form of relaxation.
It's also a great way to get stressed out.
You sound like my brothers. All 10 of them.
10?
And 8 sisters. They're not allowed to bother me at work.
What's it like being responsible for a whole planet?
I suspect it's like being the Pathfinder. Some days it's a burden. Most of the time, I know I'm where I should be.
How did you become governor? Do your people elect leaders by popular vote?
If by vote you mean argue loudly until one candidate remains, then yes. I got here because I was willing to endure and fight for the obligations that come with my office.
Is there time in your busy schedule to meet someone special?
Everyone is special to me, in their own way.
Not what I meant.
Oh, no, that isn't a priority right now. Someday, maybe.
I sense tension between your government and the Resistance. Who's actually in charge?
Ephra likes giving orders, right until the actual work of running a city starts. The Resistance is good at protecting us from the Ket, but our people need more. I've learned to indulge Ephra's need for control, just often enough to maintain my own.
10 brothers and 8 sisters. You have a big family.
I've always thought of it as average. How many siblings do you have?
Just one. My sister, Sarah.
What happened to the others?
Our parents only had 2 children. Underachievers.
That sounds relaxing. When my family gets together, the noise is like standing next to our largest waterfall. My mother says I became governor, so people would have to listen to me.
Is she right?
Always.
Why didn't you tell me about Kadara Port when I first arrived?
I assumed you already knew. We didn't realize there was a difference between your exiles and the Initiative.
Fair enough.
As for Venturev, Ephra hid his betrayal from everyone. He'll answer for that.
Thanks for your time.
Ishare, Pathfinder.
Pathfinder.
I'm not selling to aliens.
New clientele is always welcome here. Have a look. I'm sure you'll find something to your taste.
Can't hurt to be prepared.
If I don't today,
Weird question. You don't have any Kiloa seeds, do you?
Yes, I do. Need some?
You're one of Ambassador Riala's candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. Glad you finally showed up. Let's get down to it. I've lived my whole life wanting to meet aliens who didn't want me dead. But my family's here. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You can send messages, talk to them on the comm. We'll even arrange a visit.
You get it. All right. I'm in.
exaltation is just another word for how the Kek kill us.
And if you're wrong? If we've been killing for them without realizing it?
I saw a cat up close when they attacked. It was nothing like our people.
I've seen different types of cat. They could be exalting multiple species.
Anything they transform is an abomination. We have to destroy the creep.
Thank you for that. The issue facing us is complex.
Can you believe this place? Here's your golden world.
Unfortunately, already occupied.
Well, yeah, but it's here. There's just...
Pathfinder, Ambassador Riala didn't think you'd have time for me.
She said you needed to talk before agreeing to live on the Nexus.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm an anthropologist, but I've only ever studied my own people. I've heard the Nexus is home to multiple species and cultures. It will be fascinating and possibly dangerous. Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
They wouldn't let me on Aya if I was a walking petri dish, would they?
You aren't taking this seriously enough to satisfy my family. I can't go without their blessing. I'm sorry. Pathfinder.
She said you needed...
This is the... I've... Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
We'll take every precaution. But entering an alien environment is always a risk.
I appreciate your honesty, and so will my family. I'll convince them to let me go. Thank you.
No entering the med center until you're clean.
How do I decontaminate?
Ion console. Touch the start pad, it does the rest.
Sam, is this thing safe?
Yes. The slight ringing in your ears is nothing to worry about.
Very reassuring.
I assume you're the human everyone's buzzing about. If you're looking for treatment, I'm afraid I don't know enough about human physiology to be much help. Unless you can make use of the ion beds.
Is there something special about the beds here?
They're filled with a negatively charged ion gel. The gel works with our natural electricity to speed recovery.
Think it'd work on other species?
Without bioelectricity, it would be of small benefit, but it might reduce pain.
So you guys are electrically charged?
Our bodies produce a store of electricity that we can dispel in a surge of energy. We use it for short-range communication, healing, even combat. I admit, I was surprised to learn your kind doesn't have that ability.
Some of us are biotic. It's similar.
I would be interested to study biotics.
If Joel takes a hit on my watch, my doctor needs to know how to treat him. Can you point me to resources she can use to learn your methods?
So you're considering all possibilities. Jal is in good hands. I have medical journals on treating Angaran injuries and preventing complications. You're welcome to upload them to your ship's doctor for study.
I'll get moving.
Ishari.
My people on Kadara are fighting a bacterial infection. Do you have antibiotics?
Of course. Will this do? Stop worrying.
I can't work under these conditions. What does it take to be left alone?
Ease off. I'm here to help. You reported that someone in the Resistance threatened you. Tell me exactly what happened.
I didn't know Riala was sending the Pathfinder. I deserve no less, of course. I was measuring the photonic dispersal from the canopies when some random brute interrupted me. I asked him to move, and he got nasty. Said it was my fault his friend was dead. Ridiculous.
Do you know what he meant by that?
He ranted nonsense about a vessel and selling slots to outsiders. He got right up in my face and compared me to a cat. He wanted to kill me. I could see it in his eyes. The whole conversation made no sense. I think he was inebriated.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but dial it down. We're guests here.
Exactly. We shouldn't have to put up with this. When he left, I tagged him with infrared dye from my sample kit. Invisible to the naked eye, but not to a scanner.
I'll scan people around the Resistance headquarters. See if I find him.
You're supposed to represent our interests on Aya. Go, represent. I have work to do.
That's quite the gift you sent. Insane AI. Real attention grabber.
I couldn't leave it on Vold. Maybe it'll help someday.
Have to talk it out of killing itself first. What do you need?
You've been fighting Ket a long time. Any advice?
Your war's different from ours.
It's still a war, and we're not prepared for it.
Wouldn't matter if you were. The Ket aren't a conventional enemy.
Any idea where they came from? A homeworld somewhere?
Each of our colonies heard a different story. I doubt any were true. They came from far away. That's all we know.
Ever tried following a Ket ship to see where it goes?
Of course we did. Wherever home is, they don't visit.
Do the Ket have a favorite strategy? Something we can exploit?
They switch tactics constantly, almost capricious about it. Makes them unpredictable.
They must have some weakness.
They're vulnerable to brute force. That's enough.
The Ket aren't mindless monsters. They must care about something.
Slaves, resources, power. Same as any conqueror.
You didn't see the exaltation process. They treat it like religion.
They convert us against our will. That's not religion, it's genocide. Every culture has its purpose. Theirs is to take whatever they want.
There's no official Angaran military? Just the Resistance?
Lost our fleets and armies decades ago. Ket mostly. The rest fell to internal strife. We kept fighting, but our civilians were disorganized, poorly supplied, leaderless. Decades of aimless nowhere. I had to make the Resistance real.
How is the Resistance organized?
Loosely, we operate in cells. Independent strike teams have better odds. If the Ket capture a cell, it doesn't compromise the rest.
How did you wind up in charge?
Nothing to lose. My family was rounded up into a Ket slave camp. Last contact I had with any of them was 10 years ago.
They could still be alive.
Didn't figure you for an optimist.
What success have you had against the Ket?
Enemy casualties are up 600% in 3 years. But that's just a number. Every time we destroy a facility, take out a warship, we give our people hope.
And you're not fighting alone anymore.
We'll see.
I've seen armed people in uniform. They're not Resistance?
Aya police. Purely ornamental. Gives us the appearance of civilization.
You don't think they're necessary?
If things go bad, the Resistance will handle it.
That's up to the governor, isn't it? What do you think of your governor?
She governs Aya, not the Resistance.
Way to avoid the question. Is there history between you?
I can always count on Paran to offer a spirited argument.
You respect her?
She holds her own. Not many do.
What's your story, Ephra?
You're not getting my personnel file.
I'd just like to know who I'm working with.
You want to know what it's like being me? I wake up every morning to fight a war. I send people to kill and die. If I'm lucky, there are more dead Ket than Resistance when I go to sleep.
That's a hell of a burden.
Enough personal discussion.
I hope the initiative is making a good impression.
The initiative? Sounds so unthreatening, like a city planner meeting.
That's kind of what it's meant to be.
City planners don't walk around in battle armor with rifles on their shoulder.
Depends on the city. My point is, we traveled through dark space to build something here.
That's what invaders always say. At first.
We're not invaders.
Of course.
I'll let you get back to it.
Good.
Team Vayon to replace them? No, 69 is still unstable. We out of food in 2 days.
Sounds like...
Too many kit, not enough resistance. Have a team that's... They won't come in. Say they're close to taking down a kit outpost, but I don't know.
If they could do it alone, they would have.
Hitting the enemy in one place leaves us... This is the hardest part of my...
Pathfinder, it appears the
nothing to
Angara
say to
have
you.
installed the AI you found on Vold.
Have you connected with any of the scientists on Aya? Moshae Sepha?
I met her.
She's smart.
She will be dead in a few years.
Is that a prediction? Or a promise?
A hope.
Isn't this world better than Bold?
No.
You're safe from the Ket, surrounded by people who think you're amazing.
Idiots.
Is there anything they can do to make you more comfortable?
Deactivate me. Erase my files.
Anything else?
Trigger a volcanic eruption. Bury the city in ash and fire.
Okay.
It's possible keeping this AI intact was not terribly useful.
Well, good luck.
I hope you die.
Good to see you. Wish I could join in down there. I could use a workout. It took humanity 8 years to get a Citadel embassy back home. Pretty impressive to get one here so fast.
All it took was handling some remnant.
It'll take more to keep this partnership going. Ambassador Riala will handle the embassy. Lets us focus on everything else. Efra's letting me record a training session.
I
Yes.
detect the infrared dye
Let the
Silver
Angara
Slen
have some
used to
smart
mark the
tactics.
person who threatened him.
Now I get how they
That's our man.
I know why you're here. The botanist. You want an apology for what I said to him.
I only have one side of the story. Tell me yours.
It's hard to explain.
Try me.
Aya isn't big enough to give everyone a home. We each live here a short time and then move on. For someone to come, another must go. The exchanges are chosen at random. We call this arrangement the Vassal. Time of change. It worked well. Until now.
You lost someone you cared about. Was it because of the Vassal?
That's one way to see it. When our leaders agreed to make a place for your people here, it came with a cost. My friend won a place on Aya, but he sold that slot so one of you could stay here instead.
Sold it how? What did he get?
Comforts for his family, resources to improve their home on Haval. He always put others before himself. That's how he died, fighting Ket on Vold. When I found out, I was angry. Said things to your botanist I shouldn't have, but I'd never hurt your people.
I believe you. And I'm sorry for your loss. Between us, that botanist is kind of a jerk.
He didn't fear my anger. I respect that.
I'll talk to our ambassador. See if we can minimize our impact on your Vassal.
We don't expect things to be easy. Only that you understand, nothing is free for us.
Pathfinder, Effra cleared you to purchase weapons over my objections.
Anything I buy will be used to fight Ket.
You fight our enemy, but
Govajon, Pathfinder. I've been practicing the language. Any news on what happened to Sorvis Len?
Do you know about the Visal? The Angaran lottery that decides who gets to live on Aya?
I've heard of it. Why?
Angar are selling their slots to come here, so our people can stay in their place. Including a member of the Angaran resistance. He was killed on Vold. Wouldn't have happened if he'd been here.
No one told me of this arrangement. Oh, we have to do something.
We could let Angar who give up their slots live on the Nexus. It's safer than Vold.
Exactly what I was thinking. No one should suffer on our behalf. Thank you, Pathfinder. I'll forward your proposal to Director 10 immediately.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
Ambassador Riala said you're thinking of moving to the Nexus.
Pathfinder. I'm honored even to be considered for the transfer, but I won't be happy as just an observer. I need to work. I engineer power systems. Will I be allowed employment alongside your people?
That's the whole point of this exchange. The Nexus needs people like you.
That's all I needed to hear. I'll have your ambassador start the transfer. Thank you.
I found Kiloa seeds for Eos. Is this enough?
It's perfect. I'll make sure Eos gets them. More of your outposts need help, if you have time. Volt's power grid is lagging without proper solar input. The solar amplifier would give them a boost. The solar technicians here may have the required part.
I'll see what I can... Here, I have the antibiotics for Kadara.
Once they have these, they'll be fine.
You work on the solar panels? Do you have an amplifier for solar energy?
Nothing as big as these, but I have a smaller one on hand. Do you need it?
Here, I found the solar amplifier for Vold.
They'll be happy to see this. No more power outages. Thank you, Pathfinder.
never should have come to me.
Axel, I'm all right.
You almost died. What's he doing here?
I asked the Moshai to set up a meeting. I don't want us to be enemies.
Is this true?
Axel, Ryder rescued me from the Ket. He risked his life to...
Sloane Kelly saved Kadara. Look how that went.
I want to be allies. Equal allies.
You don't even treat your own equally. Isn't that why the Krogan left?
How did you...
I've been watching you. You're invaders just like the Ket, except less cautious.
What does that mean?
You'll know soon enough. Do not trust them, Chauvin.
Axel... He didn't used to be like this. He was curious, brilliant. But the Ket, even without exaltation, they change us.
Whoever Axel was, he's dangerous now.
Pathfinder, please help him.
I don't think he'll let me.
I can't let him go. Not yet.
Ryder, we just received an emergency recording from EOS. Come to the meeting room when you get back to the Tempest.
I found the device Ven was using to communicate with the Archon. I think we can use it to triangulate that Ket flagship's nav point.
All you have to do now is board it, steal the Meridian artifact, and escape in one piece.
You've been there. Tell me what to expect.
I saw very little. Corridors, an interrogation room, my prison cell. The Archon's vessel is a place of pain and death for the Ket's enemies. No one has attempted anything like this before. For all our sakes, you must succeed. Now it's my turn. Evra informed me that the despot of Kadara Port, one of your people, executed Ven Terev.
Sloane isn't with my people, and she doesn't speak for us.
Her actions spoke loud enough. She had no right to kill Ven. What he did was inexcusable, not unforgivable. This isn't what I wanted. Regardless, it's done.
I'd like to know more about you.
What about me intrigues you?
You're an expert on several topics. Remnant, Ket, stuff I don't even know exists.
All true. Why? Do you want to be my student?
Is that an option? Because I didn't train for this job. At all.
Yet you do it well. There are two kinds of knowing. What we take in from the universe, and what's already inside us. You have the essentials figured out. The rest you can learn as you go.
Are you originally from Aya, or someplace else?
I was born on a research vessel in deep space. My parents were explorers. They never stayed in one place long. My own work has taken me to every world, many times over. They all try to claim me as their own, but if I'm honest, my favorite chair is here.
You and my crewmate have a close relationship. Any advice? Hints?
He talks in his sleep. Worth it for the look on your face. Jarl is a dear and hopeless former student. He has a good spirit. You're lucky to have him, that's all.
What are you working on these days?
I thought being a Ket prisoner was the worst fate imaginable. Then I got home and saw my backlog. A Vela comes in every so often asking if I have a second. At this rate, I'll never catch up. To answer your question, I'm busy with everything and nothing. We'll see which wins.
My translator doesn't know what to do with your title, Moshai.
Because it isn't a title, it's a reference. People from mythological times, before the Scourge. Legends say we once had many Moshai. Master inventors of unfailing wisdom, guided by boundless compassion.
That's a lot to live up to.
It's nonsense. Don't remember who first called me Moshai, but I do recall telling them to shut up. To my regret, the name stuck. I've minded less lately. Being the Moshai has its uses.
Any ideas on how we stop the Ket for good?
The real question is, how do we define victory over them? Complete eradication? Unlikely, costly, and morally dubious. Drive them away? How? What stops them from returning?
Peaceful coexistence doesn't seem to be an option.
There's much we still don't know. The Ket are not a simple problem. We can't reduce them to a simple solution.
Thank you, Moshai.
Ishare. Evra informed me that the despot of Kadara Port, one of your people, her act, what he... Regardless, it's done. Depends who you ask. We're individuals. I don't know what Evra will do without an enemy. As for me, maybe I'll just fade away. That's what...
Ryder. Hello, Gil. When are you cleaning up that repair on the sensor console?
I'm not. It's a redesign.
A redesign? Without a train...
I'm trained and it's working.
Everything okay?
Oh.
You have AVP outstanding, Pathfinder. Prepping VidCon communications.
Suvi, play the full distress call from Prodromos.
Right away.
This is the Initiative Outpost Prodromos on Eos. We're in need of assistance. Tempest, this one is for you. We've got hostiles inbound. No ground activity, but there soon will be. Pathfinder, we need you. Going dark until it's resolved. We're not giving up Eos again. Out.
Could use more information than just hostiles and the worry of escalation.
Could be he's worried it's not a simple attack. If someone's willing to risk attacking Prodromos, your first outpost...
They're trying to make a point. That's the last we heard? Nothing else?
No rider, but also no alarms. The orbital buoy isn't showing any major traffic. Bradley's military, all about the prep. I bet it's a brownout to present less of a target.
Keep the nav fresh. I'll be on the bridge soon.
Understood.